Okay, well, you can see right there's the shift linkage, and you can see right there's the cable where it connects. It's a lollipop fitting with a plastic insert, and the plastic insert has broken off. Now this car's an '04, and it's got 130,000 miles on it, so that's pretty good life for a plastic piece that gets daily usage. And like I said, it looks like this is a regular occurrence for this transmission and this cable. Okay, so we're going to start off with taking out this center console, or at least part of it. We'll remove the rubber cup holder, and then we need a 7mm socket for this bolt down here, or screw. We'll take that out real quick. The cup holder comes in handy. Alright, so that's kind of loosened. So once we get this 7mm screw out of the cup holder, then we're going to pry this loose. And that might take some difficulty. I've got this nice snap-on pry tool, but you may have to pry it over here. I did initially before I did the video. And you're going to pop that off. Got this out. You're going to want to pry this out. You want to be careful. Like I said, I broke this piece off here. If you reach underneath, you can gently pop it loose. Once you get that loose, there's a little clip underneath here. You can pop this wire clip off. Once you get this loose, and I've got this all the way down into first gear, you can work that out, and now you've got this big piece out of your way, and you've got some free access to your equipment. So now we've got everything open, we've got access to everything. You can see as you move the shift lever, right here's your cable. It goes down into a bracket where there's a guide, and then it goes to a rubber boot that goes through the floor, and then we'll have to get access to it on the bottom side. So again, I'm going to take my handy little pry bar or screwdriver, of course doing it gently, but this is just a pop-on connection, so it just snaps over the pin, which is part of the reason why it broke on the other end, is that it's just a plastic insert. It sure would be nice if you could just buy that insert, but apparently you got to buy the cable. So down at the bottom we've got this little guide that holds it into the bracket, which is part of the shift assembly. There's a little pin hole right here where this little plastic guide keeps it in place so it doesn't slide out. So I don't know how well this is going to show up on the video, and I don't have enough hands to hold the light, my hand down there, and push on it. But you just push on this a little bit, and then that'll overcome the hole, and then you should be able to slide it out. So I'm going to give that a quick try without the light, and then we'll come back to see what it looks like. Alright, so I pushed down far enough on it that I could overcome it. So you can see that maybe. And now I should be able to just lift it completely off. And I did. Now you can see it's clear, and the only thing left is the rubber boot to work around. In fact, I think I can slide this up the cable itself. No, it looks like it's permanently attached on the cable there. So now the next thing we'll do is we're going to take a screwdriver, and we're going to go down there and we're going to pry that boot loose and either pull it forward or push it through, depending on which way it comes out easier. And then since the cable's broken off on the other side, it should be pretty free unless there's any clamps that hold it along the way. So I've pushed the boot through, the rubber grommet boot, and we'll go underneath and we'll see how it looks from underneath. You can see where here's the cable where it broke off, and of course I've got to get this off in order to change the cable. The clip that held that piece in actually came off a lot easier than I thought it would. I just had to push the 2 points together, being careful because they're pointing and it hurt, and then sliding this off, then compressing the clip, and then being able to reach up over top of the transmission and feed the unit out from underneath the dash and from the center console. So it's almost all the way out. Now I just need to work it loose and get it down. I'm going to try to maintain the shape so that when I bring the new one in case it's not shaped like this one is, and it's just straight up, then I'll know exactly how I need to bend it and align it as I go in. So there we go. Here comes the whole cable out. So, not too bad. Now, it didn't take me too long to do this, other than I kept screwing around and all my great tools are out in the shop. And of course my car is stuck in the garage where I park it. So, we got it out. Here's what it looks like. Like I say, you can see right here, this clip is in good shape, but that was on the shifter end. This is the one that was exposed to the environment. It's cracked, and we'll be replacing it for that. So, we'll get back on the video as soon as I get the new one from the dealer, which I'm heading off to go get now. I got my new cable. Something I noticed when I took out my old cable, this is locked in place, and there's this plastic ring. Well, on my new cable, you can see that that slides, and that plastic ring needs to be locked. So, what I'm going to do is, to try and minimize what I have to adjust, and hope that I don't have to make any adjustments, is I'm going to set this to match it, and then I'll lock the clip in place, and hope that that gets me where I need to go. So, we'll get that set, and then we'll climb underneath, and we'll start putting this back together. Well, let's see how hard it's going to be to get this cable fed up through there. I think it's going to be easy to get the cable in itself. I think the difficult part is going to come with getting that rubber boot around the opening of the car up into the... Alright, so we've got it started. I'm going to put the car in gear so that I can move this and get me as much room as I can down here. I can look down there, I can see that it's fed through, but it went behind one of the air conditioning ducts, so I'm going to reach down and find it and see if I can't work it up there. Alright, now. Alright, so I've got the cable up and laying in position. The next thing I need to do now is get back down below, and I need to get that rubber boot pushed up and get it to the point where I can start coming back up here and work that. So I'm going to leave the camera up here, and I'm going to turn it off. I'll go down there and I'll push that boot up so that I can start working it from up here along the lip, because I think it'll be easier to get my hand in here than it will be to get it below. And hopefully I don't have to take out this air conditioning ducting piece to be able to get good access. I had to take this ducting out, which the side cover pops off rather easily, and there's a single screw that's visible, but then there's another screw that's up underneath. So I used a ratcheting wrench, a ratcheting box end wrench, and I was able to loosen it up, get a hold of it with my fingers, so that I could pull this piece of ducting out, which gives me full access to completely mold the grommet and get it into place. So we're going to do that now. You can see the grommet with a piece of air conditioning duct out of the way. You can get it all formed in nice and tight. I did loosen up the shift base, but apparently I didn't need to do that. So this is my first time doing this, so you're getting to see all the good stuff and learn from my mistakes. But so far, other than a few pain in the necks, it's been pretty easy. This is probably the toughest part right here. It's getting this piece of ducting out so that I could get to that. So now you can see that the grommet's in place. Now here's your linkage. Now I mentioned before, see if I can get this so you can see it with the lighting. There's a little tab right here, and that's going to slide in here and it clips right into place. So now that's in place, we can come up here. Now my car was stuck in drive when this thing broke, so I'm going to come down here and move the shift lever and pop that onto place. Now you see the shift lever moves freely and the cable's connected. Now we get to put all the side covers back on. I got to put that little piece of air conditioning duct back in, which is going to go sliding up. Well, if I don't break my light. Alright, so now I got to slide this ducting back up into place in here. Put the two screws that hold it, one here and one here. Then I'll put this bracket that I took off right here, which has two studs for two nuts, and then two bolts that go up on the top, and then I can snap this side cover back into place. Then I'll be going back underneath, finish routing the cable and hooking it up to the transmission. We've got the cable. I've routed it across the top of the transmission, going past several different wire harnesses that I want to make sure I stay clear of, because when I took it out, I made sure that I noticed that the wire goes completely over the top and then loops back down near the bell housing. So here's our bracket, our mounting bracket, and here's our cable. So we're going to push that up. We got this insulating protector. So we're going to get that up and we're going to get it up into place so that we can get this. There we go. We get it through. Now this has got this little curved piece which goes in this gap. So you're going to have to turn this bracket a little bit, and then you need to pull it down, and then you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, but the little housing snapped over top of it. And now you can see how I'm lined up perfect, because my car is actually in drive right now from when it failed. So now I also have my clip, and this prevents, because this piece right here, you just push up on this and this will pop out. So we don't want that to happen by vibration. So we're going to get underneath here, and I believe it came across this way when I took it apart. Is this little locking clip is going to slide in and go through, and there you go. And now these two tabs can't be compressed. So we've got that. Now the next thing I need to do is, I didn't bring a screwdriver down here with me, so we'll see if I can get this off by hand. Oh, there we go. The old piece popped right off. So now I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to push this on, and we felt a definite snap, and now we're set. So there you have it. The job is done.